Welcome to the Shadow of History channel. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out more videos like this one. A quiet moment from the 1960s shows Saddam Hussein beside his wife Sajida Talfa, capturing an early glimpse of the man who would later rule Iraq, standing here in a personal scene that contrasts sharply with his future legacy. In 1989, during an ACT UP protest, a demonstrator holds a striking sign portraying Donald Trump as Freddy Krueger, using bold imagery to express political anger and fear during a time of intense activism and public confrontation. In Biloxi, Mississippi, 1911, a 5-year-old child laborer, exhausted after a full day's work, turns away from the camera as photographer Lewis Hine documents the harsh reality faced by children working under difficult and demanding conditions. This haunting final image from 2018 shows John Allen Chow, an American missionary who illegally entered North Sentinel Island, where he was last seen being dragged along the shore after being attacked by the isolated Sentinelese people. In 1945, Irma Gresa, aged 22, was executed for crimes committed at Auschwitz, where she inflicted severe cruelty on prisoners, and here she appears alongside fellow Nazi Josef Kramer, representing one of the darkest chapters of the Holocaust. Captured in 1978, Billy and Benny McCrary stand as the world's heaviest twins, weighing 742 and 723 pounds respectively, their extraordinary size marking them as a unique and unforgettable pair in documented human records. In India, 1903, this captured tiger became infamous after reportedly killing around 200 people, its story reflecting the deadly encounters between humans and wildlife during a time when such dangers were part of everyday life. This rare photograph shows Abraham Lincoln with his youngest son, Thomas Tad Lincoln, preserving a deeply human side of the 16th president, as the boy who stands beside him would later die at the young age of 18. George Orwell's powerful words remind us that war propaganda, loud rhetoric, and hatred often come from those who never face the battlefield themselves, offering a lasting reflection on the distance between decision-makers and those who endure conflict. In the 1990s, Muammar Gaddafi is seen wearing a shirt featuring African leaders he admired, revealing how he publicly aligned himself with figures he considered inspirational within the broader context of African political identity. Between 1930 and 1935, Australian prospectors entered the Papua New Guinea highlands, where early encounters with local people were recorded, and many Highlanders initially believed these Europeans were returning ancestral spirits shaped by long-held beliefs. A Japanese postcard from around 1907 presents a Bijin, or beautiful woman, gently holding her kitten, reflecting the aesthetic traditions and cultural appreciation of beauty and daily life captured in early 20th century Japan. In Pittston, Pennsylvania, 1911, young boys work as coal breakers, separating coal from debris, their small figures surrounded by industrial machinery, highlighting the widespread and difficult reality of child labor in early American mining communities. This photograph from 1884 captures what is believed to be the earliest image of a tornado, freezing a powerful natural force in time and marking a significant moment in the visual documentation of extreme weather phenomena. Ferris Tuohy, a World War II veteran, holds a photograph from 1944 showing himself after battle. And in April 2023, he celebrated his 97th birthday before passing away in June, linking past sacrifice with a long life remembered. In 1949, a young boy paralyzed by polio wears metal braces as he begs on the street to support victims, illustrating the widespread suffering caused by the disease before vaccines changed the course of public health history. Despite confirmed reports of Adolf Hitler's death in 1945, declassified intelligence records reveal that the CIA continued searching for him in South America for a decade, reflecting lingering uncertainty and global tension in the aftermath of war. In 1915, Jewish soldiers serving in the German army gather for a Yom Kippur service, revealing a moment where faith and duty intersected during World War I, as these men paused from conflict to observe one of Judaism's most sacred days. In the 1850s, Mary Ellen Pleasant rose from working as a housemaid to building a fortune worth millions, using her success to support efforts against slavery and challenge the racial barriers that shaped life in 19th century America. On November 2, 1931, Albert Einstein is photographed during a visit to Santa Barbara while in Southern California as a visiting professor at Caltech, capturing a rare, quiet moment often titled "Alone at Last" by contemporary photographers. In 1937, Eva Braun, later known as Adolf Hitler's wife, appears in blackface, an image that reflects the racial attitudes and cultural insensitivity present within the inner circles of Nazi Germany during that period. In 1969, Neil Armstrong is seen after completing his historic moonwalk, marking the return from humanity's first steps on the lunar surface, a defining achievement that reshaped exploration and expanded the boundaries of human possibility. Before their destruction in 2001, the towering 6th century Buddha statues of Bamiyan stood carved into the cliffs of Afghanistan, representing centuries of cultural and religious history before being reduced to rubble by the Taliban. This early photograph, known as the first ever to capture a human, marks a groundbreaking moment in visual history, preserving a fleeting presence and demonstrating the emerging power of photography to record real life. In the years following World War II, family stories describe photographs acquired in Yokohama showing Adolf Hitler leaving a bank in Germany, traded under unusual circumstances during a time when movement was restricted due to ongoing post-war recovery efforts. Backstage at the 1980 Mr. Olympia competition, Mike Mentzer confronts Arnold Schwarzenegger, capturing a tense moment in bodybuilding history that many fans remember as controversial due to debates over the final judging decision. In 1991, 3 individuals stand together after work, presenting a simple and candid snapshot of everyday life that reflects a shared moment of companionship and the ordinary rhythms that define human connection. In Damascus, Syria, August 2015, a militant from the Jaish al-Islam group uses an iPad to help aim artillery, illustrating how modern technology has been integrated into warfare during the ongoing conflict. In 1994, Leonardo DiCaprio is photographed at Coney Island in New York, capturing an early moment in the life of an actor who would go on to become one of the most recognized figures in modern cinema. In 1914, at the age of 25, Adolf Hitler enlists in the German army, and by the end of World War I, he rises to the rank of corporal and earns 2 Iron Crosses for bravery. In 2003, 2 Iraqis carry their sick mother toward medical care, reflecting the personal struggles faced by civilians during a time of conflict where families were forced to act amid difficult and uncertain conditions. In 1951, Lloyd Bridges stands beside his son, Jeff Bridges, capturing a generational moment between father and child, both of whom would become well-known figures in the world of acting. In September 1940, 3-year-old Eileen Dunn sits in bed at Great Ormond Street Hospital after being injured during a Nazi air raid on London, a quiet image that reflects the impact of war on the youngest victims. On November 24, 2009, John Edward Jones became trapped in a narrow passage inside Utah's Nutty Putty Cave. And despite a prolonged rescue effort lasting 27 hours, he could not be saved, and the cave was later sealed. On April 20, 1938, Meyer Lansky and a group of associates disrupted a German-American Bund rally in New York, attacking the gathering of around 2,000 Nazis and leaving many injured in a violent confrontation. On Christmas Day, 2007, a Siberian tiger named Tatiana escaped her enclosure at the San Francisco Zoo, attacking 3 teenage boys after reportedly being provoked, resulting in 1 death and raising serious concerns about zoo safety. In 2001, Diane Whipple, a women's lacrosse champion, was killed in an attack by 2 Canary Mastiffs in San Francisco, drawing national attention to issues surrounding dangerous animals and responsibility for their ownership. In 2001, Catherine Knight killed her partner, removed his skin in one piece, and prepared parts of his body for cooking, leaving written instructions for his children, a crime that stands among the most disturbing acts recorded in modern criminal history. Connor Clapton, the 4-year-old son of Eric Clapton and Lori Del Santo, had spent a joyful day at the circus with his father just 1 day before his death, a heartbreaking moment that forever marked his family's life. On February 4, 1971, near the Laotian border in South Vietnam, Specialist 4 Rucky D. Bostic of a troop, 1st Cavalry, 23rd Infantry Division, rests beside an armored vehicle, quietly comforting 2 exhausted dogs during a pause in wartime operations. Known worldwide for portraying Captain James T. Kirk in Star Trek from 1966 to 1969, the Canadian actor reflects in his words that he holds no regret at that moment, capturing a personal glimpse behind a widely recognized cultural figure. In 1965, a young child walks on her way to kindergarten, a simple family photograph preserving an ordinary moment of daily life that reflects the innocence and routine of childhood during that era. In 1982, a striking view from 65 West 54th Street in New York City, taken from the Warwick Hotel, captures an unusual perspective of the urban landscape, offering a surreal glimpse into the city's architectural environment. A 1963 newspaper article predicted a future where people would carry phones in their pockets, capturing an early vision of personal communication technology that would later become a defining part of everyday modern life. In 1986, Nirja Bhanot, a flight attendant on Pan Am Flight 73, protected passengers during a hijacking in Karachi by hiding passports and helping people escape before being shot while shielding children, sacrificing her life at age 22. In 1951, the Indian Motorcycle Company produced a lawnmower, an unusual example of engineering that reflects how manufacturers adapted their mechanical expertise into different forms of equipment during that period. In 1945, thousands of bags filled with gold and silver stolen by the Nazis were discovered in an underground vault, revealing the vast scale of looted wealth taken from citizens during World War II. This rare brass knuckles pistol from 1890 combines a firearm with a hand weapon, representing a unique design from the late 19th century that reflects both craftsmanship and the evolving nature of personal weaponry. Built between 1180 and 1250, the Borgund Stave Church in Norway stands as an enduring example of medieval wooden architecture, preserving centuries of history through its structure and continuing to represent a significant cultural landmark. In West Bengal, India, around 1900, a Sikkimese woman carries a British man on her back, a striking image that reflects the social and cultural dynamics present during the period of colonial influence. During World War II, a German soldier is captured in a moment of visible emotion, revealing the human side of conflict as individuals endured the psychological weight of war beyond the battlefield. During the Vietnam War in the 1970s, an American soldier's Zippo lighter serves as a personal item carried through conflict, reflecting how small objects often held meaning and accompanied soldiers in difficult and uncertain conditions. In Madrid during the 1960s, a scene unfolds between a dog and a group of nuns, capturing an unusual and candid moment that reflects the unpredictability of everyday life within a public setting. Between 1725 and 1765, Valentina Vasiliev, wife of a Russian peasant, gave birth to 69 children, including multiple sets of twins, triplets, and quadruplets, with most surviving infancy, marking an extraordinary record in human history. In 1880, a mother sits with her daughter, a simple yet enduring image that reflects the bond between parent and child and preserves a quiet moment from everyday life in the 19th century. In 1940, Adolf Hitler speaks to Benito Mussolini through the window of a train at Brunero, capturing a moment of interaction between two leaders during a critical period of World War II. Around 1893, Stephen Grover Cleveland, who served as both the 22nd and 24th President of the United States, stands as the only individual to hold non-consecutive presidential terms in American history. Lawrence Brooks, recognized as America's oldest living World War II veteran, celebrates his 111th birthday, representing a living connection to history and a lifetime that spanned generations shaped by global conflict. A City Reduced to Silence reveals the devastating aftermath of the atomic bombing in Hiroshima in 1945, where widespread destruction and human loss marked a turning point in history, leaving a haunting reminder of war's destructive power. In London during 1952, a policeman directs traffic through the dense Great Smog, a deadly environmental disaster that caused over 8,000 deaths, as thick pollution engulfed the city and exposed the severe consequences of industrial air contamination. A reflection on cinema from 1900 to 1979 captures decades of evolving film history, paired with George Wildman Ball's observation that nostalgia can mislead, reminding viewers how memory often reshapes the past into something more comforting than reality. In 1925, a Durango and Silverton narrow-gauge railroad train crosses the Animas River on the High Bridge near Tacoma, Colorado, as captured by photographer William Deal, highlighting early 20th century engineering and the enduring presence of steam-powered transport. A 1935 publicity portrait shows Pete the Pup alongside young cast members of Our Gang, later known as the Little Rascals, including Darla Hood, George McFarland, and others, capturing a moment from early American comedy film history. A quiet personal moment from 1971 shows Bernie Sanders with his son Levi, offering a glimpse into the early life of a future political figure, grounded in family life during a period of social and political change in the United States. During World War II, a U.S. soldier extends a helping hand to a woman emerging from a cave, illustrating a brief human interaction amid the broader context of global conflict and the difficult conditions faced by civilians during wartime. An elderly woman returns home after working in cotton fields in the 1860s, reflecting the labor-intensive agricultural life of the era and offering a direct view into the daily realities faced by field workers during that historical period. In New York City, Malcolm X is assassinated in 1965 while addressing his Organization of Afro-American Unity at the Audubon Ballroom, marking a pivotal and tragic moment in the life of a prominent African-American nationalist leader. During World War II in Budapest, Jews were forced to remove their shoes at the edge of the Danube before being shot, and today, 60 pairs of iron shoes line the riverbank as a stark memorial to those victims. In 1891, Anton Chekhov is photographed by his brother Alexander, capturing the Russian writer and playwright during a period when his literary contributions were shaping modern storytelling and reflecting the social conditions of his time. In the 1950s, playgrounds featured metal slides without modern safety mats, offering children a more hazardous but common form of recreation, reflecting a time before contemporary safety standards transformed how public play spaces were designed. A Rainy Night in London in 1899 captures the atmosphere of the city at the turn of the century, where wet streets and dim lighting reflect everyday urban life during a period of industrial growth and cultural change. In 1985, John and Linda Sohus disappeared from San Marino, California, after telling others they were leaving for a supposed government assignment in New York, a claim that raised little concern at first, but later became deeply suspicious. In 2010, Caliph Browder was arrested at age 16 and held at Rikers Island for 3 years without conviction, spending nearly 2 years in solitary confinement, a case that later drew attention to flaws within the American justice system. In 1956, IBM shipped a 5-megabyte hard drive, a technological milestone of its time, illustrating the early stages of data storage development and highlighting how far computing capacity has evolved in the decades since. In 1915, Dorothy Lawrence is arrested after disguising herself as a male soldier to fight on the front lines during World War I, revealing a rare and determined attempt by a woman to directly participate in combat. In 1920, hop pickers in Faversham, England, are seen working on stilts, a practical method used to reach higher plants during harvest, reflecting agricultural practices and labor conditions of early 20th century rural England. A light-hearted moment from the 1950s shows a woman humorously reacting to Albert Einstein's shoes while on vacation, offering a rare glimpse of the renowned physicist in an informal setting beyond his scientific achievements. In 1957, a cutlery set designed by Salvador Dalí demonstrates the artist's extension into functional objects, blending surrealist creativity with everyday items and showcasing how artistic vision can influence even the most ordinary tools. Portraits of Northern Cheyenne chiefs Little Wolf and Dull Knife, born in the early 19th century, document important indigenous leaders whose lives spanned periods of significant conflict and change for Native American communities. A youthful image of Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio captures two actors early in their lives before they rose to international fame, marking a moment that precedes their later recognition in the film industry. In 1934, a Nazi rally in Germany displays the scale and organization of political gatherings under Adolf Hitler's regime, reflecting the controlled public demonstrations that were central to promoting ideology during that period. In 1940, Albert Einstein receives his American citizenship, marking a significant moment in the life of the physicist who had fled Europe, symbolizing both personal transition and the broader movement of intellectuals during turbulent times. During the 1930s, workers carved the eye of a presidential figure on Mount Rushmore, illustrating the detailed and labor-intensive process behind the creation of one of the most recognizable monuments in the United States. Quai des Nations in Paris, documented from 1900 to 2017, reflects more than a century of change along the Seine, capturing the evolution of a historic location that has witnessed shifting architectural styles and urban development over time. A rare early glimpse shows Vladimir Putin as a young teenager in 1966, capturing a future political leader long before his rise to power, offering a quiet look at an ordinary moment that would later gain historical significance. In 1921, a stuntman carefully prepares to drop into an automobile, illustrating the physical risks taken in early filmmaking when practical effects relied entirely on human skill, marking a period before modern safety standards reshaped the industry. In England, 1936, a group of children gathers to care for and feed a dog after its owner's death, reflecting a simple act of responsibility and compassion that highlights community spirit during a time shaped by everyday challenges. In 1984, Liam Neeson stands alongside his then-girlfriend Helen Mirren, capturing a moment between two actors during their early careers, before both would go on to achieve lasting recognition across film and stage. A quiet domestic scene from 1897 shows a mother helping her son with a loose tooth, revealing a timeless family moment that reflects everyday care and connection in an era far removed from modern life. Malcolm Jamal Warner is remembered as an American actor, musician, and poet, best known for portraying Theodore Huxtable on The Cosby Show, a role that earned him Emmy recognition and defined a significant part of television history. In 1861, 9-year-old Johnny Clem joins Union Army troops as a drummer boy after being turned away for his age, later becoming the youngest non-commissioned officer in U.S. Army history by the age of 12. Hulk Hogan, born Terry Jean Bollea, became one of the most recognized professional wrestlers in the world, known for his flamboyant style, signature look, and immense popularity throughout the 1980s and beyond. In the late 1930s, camera girls are seen at work, representing a period when photography was becoming more accessible, and individuals played key roles in capturing everyday moments during a rapidly changing era. In 1920, a well-dressed beggar runs alongside the coach of King George V, capturing a striking contrast between wealth and poverty in public life, offering a glimpse into social realities during early 20th century Britain. In 1861, Abraham Lincoln's beloved dog named Fido reflects a personal detail of the American president's life, offering a softer and more intimate view of a historical figure often remembered for leadership during national conflict. In New York City, 1918, crowds fill the streets to celebrate the end of World War I, marking a moment of relief and joy as the long and devastating global conflict finally came to a close. During World War II, Operation Pluto secretly transported fuel under the English Channel from Britain to France, representing an innovative engineering solution developed in 1942 to support Allied forces after the D-Day invasion. In 1910, pin boys work inside bowling alleys in New York City, manually resetting pins between games, illustrating a labor-intensive role that existed before automation transformed the sport and removed the need for human intervention. In 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall marks a defining moment in modern history, symbolizing the collapse of division between East and West and signaling profound political and social change across Europe. In 1884, the Statue of Liberty stands in Paris before being disassembled and shipped to New York, capturing a transitional moment in the journey of a monument that would later become a global symbol of freedom. Daniel F. Bakeman, who died in 1869 at age 109, is remembered as the last confirmed living American Revolutionary War veteran and for holding the record for the longest marriage, lasting 91 years and 12 days. In the 1890s, Red Cloud and his wife Pretty Owl are photographed together, documenting the lives of a prominent Oglala Lakota leader and his family during a time of significant change for Native American communities. In 1915, a French sergeant and his dog wear gas masks near the front lines of World War I, reflecting the harsh conditions of trench warfare and the widespread use of chemical weapons during the conflict. In 1993, Wormwood Street in London shows the aftermath of an IRA truck bomb explosion, capturing the damage and disruption caused by a violent act during a period of ongoing conflict in the United Kingdom. During the 1970s in Belfast, a British Army bomb disposal specialist approaches a suspect vehicle, illustrating the tense and dangerous work carried out amid ongoing unrest and the constant threat of hidden explosives. In 1917, a soldier pauses in the snow to feed a starving cat, capturing a quiet moment of compassion within the harsh realities of wartime conditions during the First World War. On October 2nd or 3rd, 1862, Abraham Lincoln meets General George McClellan at Antietam, documenting a significant interaction between political and military leadership during a critical phase of the American Civil War. The real raising of the American flag on Iwo Jima during World War II captures a defining wartime moment, symbolizing determination and marking a key event in the Pacific Campaign.